till you give me all this love and take it back.
So like I can't have you. Nobody gonna have you trying to, not laughing, but you know what I mean. Like, so I was watching this TikTok video about. I mean, I don't know if the video was based on mental health, but I know that that's the message the guy ended up putting out. So basically, he has 3 children. Two are school aged, and one is still probably one less than 2-year-old in diapers. And the kids are going off to school, the older children. And the baby is at the door. They have the screen door where you can see the kids leaving, and they have to say bye, see you later, mom, and see you later, daddy, see you later, little brother. And once the kids were gone, the baby starts to hit himself, like in the face.
Right.
And it was like the father didn't do anything about it, but he noticed it, he recognized it, and he said, in the video, he didn't say it out of his words, but he typed it, like, this is where these types of issues start. You understand? The fact that this little boy who's only 1 year old, 2-year-old, doesn't know how to process the way he feels. All he knows is my big brother, my big sister left, and now I'm home alone. And now I feel a way, and I can't verbalize how I feel. I can't speak about how I feel. There's no one here to talk to about these emotions. So he blames himself for everything and immediately starts to just hit himself in the face. And I thought that was a very powerful video. And I want to give big ups to the gentleman who actually put it out there. Next time I'll have the actual video, because it was a very powerful message to see. Like, and he was like, this is where little serial killers start. You know what I mean? Because no one wants to A, identify it, B, do something about it at that time.
It kind of give you sociopaths versus psychopath, like what could be about to be a Michael Myers situation, because a lot of this self-inflicted pain the child's giving himself. Okay, I understand where you're coming from. Because there's a difference, definitely.
And most people probably wouldn't think that a baby that young, but as you were saying, it starts at home. So if the parents don't identify and rectify the behaviors immediately, then it's potentially going to go on and on and on. And then, like you said, to the point where he goes to school, and if this is how he's been dealing with things his whole life, he'll probably continue. Then next thing you know, as they get older, they start cutting themselves, or they start, ODing on drugs or alcohol, or, all types of things to try to numb those feelings or get rid of those feelings instead of trying to find a healthy way to deal with it. And that's back to like the mental health thing. Like,
I feel nothing. Yeah, they start to become right. Correct.
So, what do you suggest for an individual who is beyond the childhood phase and already introduced into this world and has already come? Like, is there a way for them to?
I think they have to realize they need help, like everything else, and it's hard that they see themselves in that life, because let's be real. When they turn on and you've been this way for a long time, you think what you do is correct. So you have to turn and step out yourself a lot of times to actually realize that you have issues and you have problems and things are not going right in your favor.
Is there a way to do that without therapy, or do you think they need therapy or psychological?
Even with therapy, you still have to have the realization that, you know what, I want to progress, I have to move on. Because let me tell you something, somebody could turn around and talk to you to death every week about your problems, but if you're just like, okay, let me just get through this. Because a lot of people do that. They turn around and like, all right, look, I really don't give a fuck, but I'm going to turn around and give you everything you need just for you to shut up. And that's what a lot of sociopaths do. They're brilliant liars. They're great liars. They turn around and give you everything you want, but they mean nothing towards it. You know where I'm from? And sociopaths and psychopaths are similar, right. Because they'll turn around and feel nothing, but they'll turn around and make it seem like they feel something. Right. They'll give you the image, but you just never know who you're dealing with until you're around them. You have to literally study them to a certain extent.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? But yeah, it definitely, with help, even though sometimes people are going to be where they are, but with help, it can bend the rod. It can definitely go from that direction to a diversion. If some type of help is being,
but they gotta want the help. They can't, you can't just force it on them. They gotta actually want and receive the help that is offered.
Yes, definitely. I feel like anybody. Let's take other ones, nymphomaniacs. or anybody that's a klepto. The list goes on. If you don't want to change or become better, you're going to continue staying on your path.
Right.
So you're
So
comfortable.
your behaviors will then become your character, and then that's just become who you are.
Yes, it's comfortable.
And then it's much harder to try to fix it at that point because
Yes,
you didn't
can.
even attempt to. All right, my last question as it pertains to putting those two together, because you did mention, sociopath and masochist. There are some people in the world who may be one of or both a sociopath and a masochist, meaning that some people actually get off on being abused. Now,
And some people get off of giving abuse.
yes,
Yeah.
so that's why they call it S&M, because it goes hand in hand. Like it would have to be, but see, it's consensual at that point because you have one
I'm allowing it.
who and then you have the other who this is what they like. They have people who pay people to hit them. Like
Yeah, they pay dominatrix and so
so.
on. Right.
Is that like a mental issue, you think, or is
To a certain extent, I definitely believe so. Because I don't know. I understand people have a lot of different ways of getting off. People like to, so I have some people that like to hang themselves and masturbate, and some people that like different toys that's conflict damage, such as rods in the penis and fisting, and the list goes on. And I would say your pleasure is your pleasure, but when you do go out of the norm and things can change your body and damage you, I think to a certain extent you might have a couple of issues here and there. Only because it's not even for, how I say, pleasure purposes. It's about extremities. Extremities. They turn around and want to go the extra length to turn and, I guess to get off. Because let's be real. But then you know what? Let me take it back. My norm might be semi extreme and vice versa. So it depends on how you see it.
I mean, I would think in that kind of situation that the line should be drawn where blood is drawn. You understand? Like if we're getting off on this together,
And waste to a certain extent. So.
yeah, like if I gotta beat tears out of you or blood out of you, or if it's just too extreme, I think that's probably. But again, like you said, everyone's different. So I guess I would have to probably get a masochist or someone like that on to talk about that. So we looking for some masochists out there. Come on. Peer pressure.
You said peer pressure?
Yeah, that would be the next topic before we kick it to a break and get the last ones out the way.
Peer pressure. I feel definitely peer pressure can happen, especially if it's like a group or, let's be real, it's 10 of us.
And it's not just a kid situation.
No.
Okay.
It could be any situation. It's like drinking or smoking. Oh, come on, have a last one with me. Come on, smoke real quick before you leave. Or come on, stay another hour. Come on. Like, it's the push, because if everybody's doing it, I feel obligated to turn and do it too.
Right.
So definitely peer pressure is very popular among everybody.
Right. So, as it pertains to, let's see, so like bringing all the topics together, domestic violence, mental health, peer pressure. If you was a way to like put all of those into, I guess, a bowl of some sort. Sometimes, we know that domestic violence is bad. Most mothers would teach their sons, don't ever put your hand on a woman, but when he gets around his friends and they're joking about it or talking about it, yeah, I had to put this bitch in her place, or I had to, slap her down or something, you know what I mean? And it'll be the topic of conversation where they're actually laughing and, about it. Do you think that that could, like the fact that they don't see it as a problem with their peers, that they could actually take that attitude home and now not see a problem with it in their home, even though they knew prior to speaking with their peers it was a problem? Just like you're taught, don't do drugs or don't do this, but then when you go out and you see everyone else doing it, you kind of get that mentality of, well, everyone else is doing it, why can't I?
A lot of people do. Because it's like, it's about popularity. It's about being social, and a lot of people feel like they don't do what everybody's doing, they're going to lose that factor. They'll lose the friendship. They'll feel everybody's going to think that they're boring, or they'll try and think that
They don't fit in.
they don't fit in. Or even so, it's like, oh, like, what's wrong? Like, like, are you trying to, like, people do manipulation as well. They feel like, oh, so why'd you smell? So what's wrong with me? What's wrong with it? People try to make you feel bad for things that's bad. You know what I'm saying? People have a tendency to do that.
I've been through that a lot actually in my life. Like, people who will try to make you feel like you're the wrong one because you're not, you're the odd one out, or you think you're better than them because you make better choices, or you decide that I'm not going to let you allow me to do something that I know is not right, whether it be by me or by someone else. We definitely have been through that. You have any like times that you've ever been peer pressured or any situation?
Of course. Yeah, definitely. In school, among circles, work, this goes on. Everybody try to, people have a certain way of wording things that make you want to either do it, or you have to be strong to be like, I'm out. I gotta go. But just have to be that strong. Because nothing to one person can tell you probably be out, but when multiple people tell like, come on, Jay, come on, and then you're like, oh, okay. It's sometimes people literally attack you verbally.
Yeah. Like, I gotta go to work in the morning, so I can't hang out tonight. But then the group is like, but come on, we gotta do this, and you know what I mean? And it's like, yo, come on, cut it out. Like, I just told you.
Yeah, they make you feel bad for things that they make you feel bad for responsibility.
Isn't that something? And that's as adults, so I can only imagine what it's like with a kid. I was once, pressured into abusing a lover of mine, but by my lover. Like, I once had a lover who thought that it was cool to sit and watch What Does Love Have to Do with It every night. Like, that was the movie for the night, every night for weeks on end.
What the hell is that about?
I mean, that was the type of relationship they thought they wanted to be in.
So they wanted to be in the Tina.
Until it happened.
Okay.
And then it's like, now I become the bad guy. And it's like, but you practically, you molded this situation. You created this situation. You provoked this situation. Like, and then when the person finally do lose it and let go and I guess give the person what they want or what they think the person want, then I guess you're the bad guy now. Like, so it was very weird for me to be in that kind of situation.
See, that's the reverse mentality. It's like, it just kind of give you like, so you put yourself in the victim role, and it just kind of give you like, it just kind of give you the, no disrespect, I'm sorry, I'm gonna use this term, white woman strategy. When things not going in her favor, she's gonna call rape. She'll call, oh my God, I'm being attacked. Even though you're the one who started first, but you use your power, or you feel like you use your race,
and privilege,
privilege, to try and get over in this situation. And it's terrible because it kind of give me, wait a second, like, you the one who throw the blow, but for instance, I throw it back. Oh my God, you hit me! How could you?
He crazy. Like, hold up, how am I crazy?
So, bitch, when you hit me, you wasn't crazy.
Like,
you started the fight, but now I'm crazy because I retaliated. Oh, okay, I get it. I understand 100%.
So, like, I mean, it's a case by case, of course, and that's, I guess, what the court's job is to do, to figure out, like, which case is for which, and who's guilty and who's, not of whatever situation.
You have to literally, I think you have to see, especially when it comes to court cases, you have to literally see facial reactions. You have to try and do a lot of techniques. You have to go in because you just never
got
know.
People
who are genius.
But there's people like you mentioned earlier who could be straight sociopaths. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
so
they
good.
can get on that stand,
no emotion,
and like or try to manipulate a certain emotion at the time. Like, oh, I was so scared, and I was so. But that's why I was saying I wanted you to see the video independent of the newscast, because when you're just watching the video, she doesn't seem like I mean, she doesn't project the image of someone who's in distress. You know what I mean? Like if I was really
You know what
fearing
it is, though?
for
I
my
think
life-
just like you said before, I think she got so conditioned. Remember she said this hasn't been her first
right.
rodeo. You know what I'm saying? He got her the first time.
So,
So I just feel
and-
she
and-
finally like, you know, I'm tired of this shit.
And honestly, not to cut you off, but if that is the case, let's just say that is the case. The same way you said that the person